See, we will see like client HTTP header, like we can say like client HTTP request header and the server HTTP response header. So it is very, very important to understand the header. Um, if you are working on the label where we need to do deep troubleshootings, even if you're working as a cybersecurity engineer. So what is the work of cybersecurity engineer? We generally do deep monitoring of the logs, right? Through a Splunk, through Microsoft Sentinel. We should have good visibility of the header level, like HTTP header, HTTPS header, TCP, DNS. So we should have good understanding on all the protocols. Okay, it is very, very important. So what we'll see like client header, HTTP client header, we can say like request header and HTTP response header. So I have already opened this in Wireshark. If you see here, so we can also use the Cloud Shark. Basically, it is pre-capture. We don't need to capture anything. So opening the Wireshark, it is not required. It is kind of pre-capture already. So I have already opened this. I have filtered HTTP. So if you see here, see the first message, source 1.1 is sending reply to 1.2 and protocol HTTP. Guys, it is also important when we do some performance issue troubleshooting, performance related troubleshooting in the production. It is very, very important to analyze the header. Like what is the response time? What is the request time? Who is taking much time to respond it? Whatever requested from client, from server. Okay. So in HTTP header, client is going to request something, request some data, maybe web page from the server. That things we'll see in detail here in this video. Okay. So same things I've already captured here. So let me open. This is the client header, HTTP header, and this is the client HTTP header. So if you see here, first message is get HTTP, and this is the website. This is the version. So get is basically, guys, get is HTTP method used to request something, request some data from the server, from the destinations. So it is very, very important to understand the method of HTTP. Same thing it is mentioned here. So I have opened both things so that you guys can easily understand concept including theory. Okay. So this is the this is the request line. It specifies the HTTP method, first one, including its version. And host is basically the domain of the server. We can say like it is domain name of the server. And this is the user agent, guys. User agent is like uh, user agent means in case like browser, which browser we're using, maybe Mozilla, Chrome, other stuff. But we can ask question why so many agent are here? Because of compatibility, guys. So earlier, like in 90, 1990, I think, yeah. There is some compatibility, like some browser depend on these stuffs. We can say like, so for the compatibility, it's include all the details here. Even browser is that request is sent by the Chrome. So server is going to be identified that and accordingly it is going to be communicated. So this is about user agent. So if you come here, it is used for the identify the client software making the request, help the server responses for a specific browser or devices. Okay, so it is for the identity. We can say like identity purpose. Okay, and this is the accept. So text slash HTML application. So these are the things client is going to be accepted. So client is sending to server. I'm going to accept these many things. Okay. I'm going to accept this language, accept encoding. See, encoding basically is for the compression purpose. It is going to send to the server. Okay. I'm also supporting compression. So compression is used to be increase the bandwidth. So if you see here, indicates supported compression method allow the server to send compressed content for faster loading. So basically, client is sending to server, yes, compression, I'm accepting. So server is going to be compress client content for faster loading. So this is about the except encoding edge. Then we have proxy connection keep alive. Keep alive means it is telling to server, please keep that connection open after the response sent. So this is helpful to not create TCP handshake again and again. It's kind of saving the time. So it's very, very important. So this is about proxy connection keep alive. And then we have the like pull request, that is URI, HTTP request. This is the first request out of it, and this is the response in frame. So this is the corresponding server response is located in frame 5. This is the next request in frame 11. So the next HTTP request in the session is in frame 11. So these are the additional details. But we should focus about these many like get, host, user agent, accept language, encoding, proxy connection. These are very, very important. These are the additional steps sent by the client in request header of HTTP. Okay, so this is about the client HTTP header. If we see the server response header, we'll see server. Let me just minimize this. And this is the request. Let me close this and open the respond header. So what we'll do, we'll do like this so that we can see both together. See, so this is the response sent by the, I have taken this snapshot on the capture packet, guys, so that we can easily understand and I can explain in better way. So this is the response packet. We can select HTTP response packet. So HTTP server is sending, yes, I'm also supporting HTTP 1.1 and 200 is the HTTP status code used for the successful connection. Means whatever client requested, server is send that request. We can say like whatever you requested from server, server is send, exit all the things, and that is called 200, that is successful connections. It is going to be mention the date also and timestamp. Let me just minimize this. So this is the server response. This is the date. So date is, guys, this is the time where server is responding to the client. It is useful for caching purpose. Okay, it's very, very important. So timestamp is when the server generated the response, useful for caching and logging purpose. Okay, then we have the server Apache, means server is using the Apache. So server side is a response from server, right? So it's using specifies the web server software handling the request. So in this case, it is Apache. So it is handling the request. Then we have cache control, no cache. It means, let me do like this, yeah. So then we have the next cache control, no cache means it is going to instruct the browser, not the cache the responses, ensuring fresh content is fetched each time. So this is the things sent by the server to the client. Please don't do cache. Okay. Then we have the no cache, no store. So this is used for the legacy HTTP version 1.0. Now it is not in use. In the market, we are using 1.1 and 1.2. Then we have the expire. So this is going to be set an expiration date in the past to prevent caching of the responses. Then we have the X powered by servlet and 2.5. So this is basically going to server is reveals backend technology used by the server such as Java, and these are the technology used by server. So server is basically sending base details to the client. And user agent, it indicates that the response may vary based on the user agent header, allowing different content for different devices. And then we have content types. Yes, this is the basically requesting a web page basically text slash HTML basically the web page. Then the transfer encoding chunk indicate that the response body is sent in chunks, useful for streaming or dynamic content. And then we have the proxy connection keep alive, each for the keeping the connection alive after data get exchanged, so that we don't need to create the connection again and again. Connection keep alive, right? This is the proxy connection keep alive. We basically use the proxy connection to keep the TCP connection open for reuse. And this is for connection keep alive. It is going to test the client to keep the connection open for additional request, improving performance. Okay. And these are the additional details. So this basically, if you analyze the performance issue for any applications, these are the important point, guys. Time since request. So indicate the server responded in approximately 58 milliseconds. So when client is send HTTP header request to the server take we can select server took 0.057 second. It is approximately 58 milliseconds. So on the basis of this timing, we can analyze like it is the minimal time, it is the normal times. If it is more than 150 millisecond, if it is more than 200 milliseconds, that is not the accepted. Maybe in that case, we can see the performance issue of the applications. So this is how we can analyze the header, and it's very important. Okay. Then we have request in frame. The corresponding HTTP request was captured in frame 4. Next request in frame 11. The next HTTP request in the section is in frame 11. And then this is the original URI requested by the client, and there are some additional details there. So important things to analyze the HTTP header, like HTTP request header and HTTP response header is, we need to be, for example, let's come here. So if this is the response of the server, so while analyzing the HTTP header, like request and response, we need to focus on the method, like both are agree or not for the version. What is the status? If it's 200, 300, 300 basically used for the redirection, 404 is basically used for the content is not available. And then the time stamp is very, very important. Time since request is 0. So this is for this is very, very important. Let me again explain you guys. If you analyzing this packet related to performance issue in your production for any applications, so this part is very, very important. This one, guys. So time since request sent. So server is took this time to respond to the client. It is supported these 200 connections. So on the basis of this, we can tell there is no much issue on the server side. If you're working as a pipe administrator, maybe a specialist SME, and if you're analyzing the packets, okay. And for the client, if I'm working as a proxy, right? Client has no visibility like who is in the middle. So for client thought of, okay, I'm directly communicating with the server, but there is a pipe in the middle working as a reverse proxy. So we should aware, okay, a status should be 200, date is for catching purpose, agent is supported or not, and what is the content type, what is the response. So this is the one response out of it. This is the time since requested by client. So these are the important term, we can say, like in header, we need to analyze these things, and accordingly we can take actions, or we can tell to the application owner, like where is the gap. Same things we can do for the client. This is the client HTTP header. We can select request header. So which method is are using, which version it is using. For example, client is using 1.1 and server is using 1.2. This will not a successful connections, and we'll never see the HTTP status 200. So this is how we can analyze this header, like HTTP request header and HTTP response header, while facing any challenge related to performance issue on the production from any specific applications. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.